Hello, friends. Today's story is called The 10 Commandments. Have you ever heard of the 10 Commandments? This is how God gave his rules for living to a man called Moses. 3 months after God led the Israelites out of Egypt, they arrived at the base of a large mountain called Mount Sinai in the hot desert wilderness. God told Moses to climb on his own to the top of the mountain so he could talk with him. God said to Moses, "Tell the people to wash themselves and get ready, because I am about to come down and speak to you at the top of the mountain." Moses and the people did as God asked, and they got themselves clean and ready. Then Moses climbed up the mountain to talk to God, carrying 2 big flat stones. All the people waited at the bottom of the mountain. 3 days later, there was thunder and flashes of lightning. A thick cloud covered the mountain. People were terrified. It was then that God gave his 10 commandments to Moses. God wrote his rules on the 2 stones. God's rules tell people that God is the only real God to love and trust. They also tell us how to do what is good and right to other people. They are 10 rules to help us live at peace with God and each other. Moses was away a long time on the mountain, and one day the people said, "Let's make a god that we can see out of gold treasure." And so they did. But the golden calf could not answer their prayers. When Moses came down the mountain, he saw the people praying to their idol. He broke the stones God had written on. Then everyone remembered how God had saved them, and they were sorry. Moses went back up the mountain again with 2 new stones. God gave Moses the new rules again. "Tell the people to live by these good rules," God said. "Now they will know what is the right thing to do and how to live good lives." God's rules, like we said, are called the 10 Commandments. Rule number 1. God is the one true God. Put him first in your life and make him more important than anyone or anything else. Rule number 2. You should only worship and serve God, not anyone or anything else. Rule number 3. You must only ever use God's name with respect and reverence, never as a name to mock or swear. Rule number 4. You must remember the Sabbath as a day of rest. You can work on the 6 other days, but the Sabbath day is a holy day to worship God and relax. Rule number 5. You must honor and obey your parents. God promises a long life to you if you do. Rule number 6. You must never murder anyone. Jesus said we should not hate anyone either. Rule number 7. You must be faithful and loyal to the person you marry. Rule number 8. You must not steal. You have to respect other people's property. Rule number 9. Do not tell lies. This includes saying things about other people that are not true. And rule number 10. Do not be envious or jealous of what others have, or be greedy. Jesus later summed up the 10 Commandments by saying, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind." This is the first and most important command. And the second command is like the first. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. The 2 things that you need to remember this week are taken from those verses I just read. Number 1, God wants us to love him with all our heart and soul and mind. That is the most important thing we can do. And number 2, God also wants us to love our neighbor. This might be hard to do, but we need to remember that it is a commandment from God. We can share, care, and help our friends or neighbors in order to show them God's love. Our verse this week is the one we just read. It says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Matthew 22:37-39.